In this lecture, we'll be discussing about all the HTML quotation and citation elements. So in this chapter, we'll go through, some of the tags like block quote, queue, ABBR, address, site, and video HTML elements. So we'll understand what is this. So here's the example. Like if something is to be quoted from a particular website, like here is a quote from WWF's website. So this is a quote and it is a indented a bit, right? It is indented a bit. 4 characters are there. So HTML block quote for quotations. The HTML block quote element defines a section that is quoted from another source. Browsers usually incident block quote elements. So what happens is that if we have a paragraph, something like this, here is a quote from WWF's website and this is written in paragraph. Now, if we want to block quote something, so what we'll do, we'll block quote and we'll write site and we'll write the website from where we have picked up the data. So what we need to do in block quote, site is equal to this, we'll put the website. Let us now try. So what will happen? This was written in normal paragraph and this quoted text will be intended a little bit, right? So what will happen? These 4 spaces, as you can see, it is shifted towards right. So this is block quote. So when we use this block quote tag, what happens is that 4 spaces is shifted it towards right. So this is how block quote works. Now let us talk about HTML tag for short quotations. The HTML tag defines a short quotation. Browsers normally insert quotation marks around the quotation. So if we have to quote something, we want that double inverted commas come up. So for that we use Q tag. So let us see an example. WWF's goal is to build a future where people live in harmony with nature. So I need this particular part to be in inverted commas. So what I'll do, I'll just write the normal paragraph and in normal paragraph I'll do all the quotations. So build a future where people live in harmony. So as you can see in the output, this is in double quotes. As you can see, there are double quotes. So this is how you could quote something with the Q tag. Now let us talk about HTML ABBR tag, that is for abbreviations. So any abbreviation or an acronym like HTML, CSS, Mr., Doctor, ASAP, ATM, something like that. So marking abbreviations can give useful information to browsers, translation systems, and search engines. So whether, like for example, you could use the global title attribute to show the description for the abbreviation acronym when you mouse over the element. So let's say this is a paragraph and in this ABBR title, the title is World Health Organization. But what will be printed? WHO will be printed, that it was founded in 1948. So what happens is that this title, the World Health Organization, this code is read by search engines, and if somebody search for, if somebody searches for World Health Organization, so this will appear. And this is all the SEO, search engine optimization, how your website or web page is gonna come up in ranking. Like if you search something on Google, so how do we make something like that, that your website comes on the top of the page, right? Your ranking improves. So in the paragraph, the ABBR title, World Health Organization. So what happens is that here WHO is printed. It is in abbreviated form. But what happens is that if somebody will search for World Health Organization, it is written in the code. So World Health Organization, so our search engines will work properly. If we directly wrote WHO, so it might be possible that if somebody is searching for World Health Organization, it won't understand what is WHO. So for that, we use the ABBR tag, and in ABBR, we write title and this, and whatever we need to display on our web page, we write between the ABBR tags in the normal paragraph or any other text section. Now let us talk about HTML address for contact information. The HTML address tag defines the contact information for the author or owner of a document or an article. The contact information can be, an email address, URL. URL is basically your website address, physical address, phone number, social media handle, etc. etc. The text in the address element usually renders in italic, and browsers will always add a line break before and after the address element. So if, for example, we are writing this address, the address of Disneyland written by John Doe, visit us at this example.com, this is our website, and this is my address. So we have used the break tag. Let us see. If we write address over here, so what happens is that the first thing is that all the address that you write comes up in a little bit of italics. So what happens is that it is all in italics, and when you write something like address, so if I wrote another paragraph or something like that, it would if I was writing a paragraph, and in the paragraph address was written without the address tag. So there would be no line in between. But as we have used this address tag, there is a line between uh, above and after the address. So these things happens that the address gets in italics, and it tells us that it is written in address, and it leaves a line. Now let us talk about HTML site tag for work title. The HTML site tag defines the title of a creative work, for example, a book, a poem, a song, a movie, a painting, sculpture, etc. etc. So the basic purpose of site is usually to render it in italics. So whether we write like this is the scream is a name of a painting. So let us say this is a painting. Now as you can see, the paint name of this painting is the scream. So we used site tag over here, and we wrote the scream in between the tags of the site. So what happens is happened is that the scream is written in italics and rest all is written in normal text. So this is how you could use site tag to write something in italics. The basic purpose of this is to write in italics, whether you use the italics tag, whether you use the site tag, or whether you use address tag, but there are different like small changes in every tag. Now let us talk about HTML BDO for bidirectional override. So BDO stands for bidirectional override. The HTML BDO tag is used to override the current text of the direction. For example, there are two directions. First is left to right. If we read something, we read the text from left to right, and there is another thing that if we write it or read it from right to left. So here direction BDO, dir means direction, and it is written RTL. So RTL means right to left, and if we write LTR, so that means left to right. So what happens is that in BDO you wrote a normal paragraph, and then in this BDO section this line will be written from right to left. So as you can see, it will start from TFEL, something like this. So you can see TFEL, it is written in left to right because we have set the direction from right to left. If we change this from left to right and then we run it, so now this line will be written from right to left, and if we change it again back to RTL, that is right to left, so it will be written in right to left. So this is how BDO direction works. BDO is basically bi-directional override. Now here's the exercise. Use an HTML element to add quotation marks around the letter school. So for quotation, we have already understood that we need to use Q tag. First we need to and then we need to close. So this is how we could use the quotation tag. So these are all the quotation and citation elements: abbreviation, address, BDO, block quote, cite, and Q. And Q is for short inline quotation. So you could note it down everything and pause and read everything, and I have explained you all the HTML quotations and sites. In the next lecture I'll be talking about HTML comments, and I'll meet you in the next lecture. Thank you.